Well, that's where I sort of relaxed myself for this video clip on fallacies of Latin drumming. The fact of the matter is, the last beat I played, that sort of thing, people tend in the northern climes, you know, northern states, Canada. I just got off the phone with Martin Cohen, founder of LP, and I was asking him, you know, about Latin. He just said, why not? And Latin. Anyway, the point is, Martin used to attend the Palladium in 1960, and I'd just be glued watching the musicians, you know, a lot of them fresh off the boat from Havana or Matanza or wherever. Anyway, I said, you know, one problem I've had since I was young, until I saw Joey Heredia in 1988, my first trip to LA, played in the club, and he was playing with a salsa pickup band. I said, problem is, I don't get this rhumba, R-H-U-M-B-A. And I tapped on the desk, you know. Furthermore, I don't get the audacity of, like, a lot of drummers who claim that that's the real deal rhumba, to impose a clave on top of it. I'm not laughing at them, I spent so much, after that, seeing Joey Heredia in the club in '88, I spent 2 years, which is what Heredia said. I'm not going to tell you that the bass drum is on the end of 2 and on 4. Listen to traditional salsa ensembles without a drummer and get to know the music. The music will tell you the parts, and you'll apply them to the drum set. Back to the rhumba, he didn't play any so-called rhumba, nor did Martin say he ever heard the word, except for the authentic West African rhumba, which is characterized by the clave, and a call response between vocal and drums, okay? And this was transported on wooden ships from West Africa by the slaves, of course, to ports west, and Cuba was one of the stops where the music really evolved into what we call salsa, and then finally with the addition of the drum set to salsa ensembles, we have, this is really oversimplifying, but we have something called Songo, which, in my humble opinion, it was sort of created or refined by Ignacio Baroa from the hit-making Puerto Rican group Bata Cambele. I love that band. I listen to them every day. Of course, I did all this stuff every day, and just salsa and that Songo. Ignacio cut those records. The one, especially with Silave and Yerba Buena and all that, in, like, I don't know, it must have been 78 or something, 79, and big hits, and there was no rumba. Or maybe that's a bolero, I don't know. And furthermore, no sort of erroneous, maybe well-intended attempt to add a clave. No. Just say no when you hear somebody suggest that sort of thing. It's the same with the samba. It's fine. One, boom, boom, or boom. People say, well, I find that more complex than Cuban music and salsa and stuff. And they're listening to stuff that's going on in the attic, as it were, not in the basement, or vice versa. There are superficial similarities all across the shop between, you know, Cuban music and, oh, here's another one, the bossa. people, teachers included, have told students and players have told other players that that's a clave. That is not a freaking clave. I don't care. Call it what you want. I'm sorry, I'm not getting angry, but I have a passion for this music. You would too if you, Joey had read it, you'd seen me, and it inspired you more than any other single drummer probably up to then, and then he didn't throw me a bone or tell me about any of his parts. I had to listen to the tape I had made surreptitiously and get into the music so deeply. But I learned that there's the fundamental difference between South American music and Cuban is and again oversimplifying, a 4 on the floor sort of. Slow or fast. Now, I'm not claiming that there's no Brazilian music or South American and clave. I played for in a band with an Argentine composer for 5 years, Alicia Borisonic. And there's more than one way to, slice it. In Argentina, aside from the tango, which takes on a cool jazz sort of, they love salsa. So we played a lot of salsa. So I got to refine my salsa. I'll play this a lot louder today, unfortunately. I'm kind of nervous because I'm slagging drummers, really. The way they conceive of all this stuff. Somebody says Latin, so they go. Play a clave thing in slow tempo, they do the bossa. Just doesn't work. I knew when I was a kid it didn't work when I started playing drums, but I couldn't put my finger on it until I saw a video. I'm going to play right now, but before I do, I'm going to play a little play along. I'm just digging around, fooling around, pardon my language. But before I do, I'd like to offer a couple of tips, okay? One very important one, which may subsume the other, depending on how I phrase it. Leave a space or omit one. This is going to really help you. I don't care if it's 2, 1. If you play the 1 there all the time, that's more like a South American rhythm, and let's not get into names or anything, but the omission of 1 happens to as well coincide with the clave. Okay? 1. 1. Don't play even 4-foot and stuff when you're trying to do your salsa. Leave a hole of 1. That's one thing I've sort of discovered. It's trite for maybe you ethnomusicologists among you, but a lot of music you'll find, within a couple hundred miles radius omits the 1. Reggae. Police and thieves fighting 1. Play along CD, see how I fare. It's a salsa play along, 3 times. Must be wanting for vocabulary. It's a mid-tempo, kind of hard to play at this tempo, but I'm going to try to give a nod to each member of the salsa ensemble, and I'm going to try to fill appropriately on the 2, 3 rhumba clave, so that I don't cross the clave, okay? I can't play, ostinato and everything, so I have to allude to the significant timbalero parts. Timbalero's going to play paya, the shell cascara, the head, clave, ride, and thieves in the street.